Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Co-Creating with AI. With me today is, as always, my co-host Rasmus, and my name is Martin. I also have a cat on the desk in front of me, so if there's any purring or whizzing sounds, that's from the cat and not from me. So, how are you today, Rasmus?
It's a nice disclaimer. Like, it's not my stomach. It's like if there's anything purring, it's the cat. But yeah, the cat showed itself, so I guess we'll believe you, unless that was like animated. I'm good. Yeah. Um, yeah, excited for today. I'm feeling more and more like this. The purpose of this podcast, apart from hopefully being of some value to the listeners, I just feel like just speaking, like having a set of time to just talk about what's going on, is
Yeah,
actually a very valuable practice for me here. Valuable exercise with the pace
therapy
things are
for
going.
dealing with the fast-paced industry.
Yeah, sort of. It's this is maybe we should change the name AI therapy, and then we could bring in your chatbot who could be our
Yes,
therapist. That would
yes,
actually be pretty
that
cool.
would be amazing.
Yeah, or not chatbot, but your
Yeah.
yeah voice
So
bot.
yeah, let's do that when it's ready for
Yeah.
prime time. So I'm at home
Yeah, how are you,
working.
by the way?
Thank you for asking. I'm really well as well. I'm at home. We are house owners, and sometimes that's a struggle. The heating has been a problem this winter, but we have the wood fired stove as a fallback, which makes it super cozy, and cats and warm blankets and so on. And otherwise, I'm just working away. I'm having fun with a really old model called BART, which is a language model, but it's not good at generating anything. But it can. I use it to measure, just measure what makes sense in a sentence. Where should punctuation be, and where, like, is it the language that the language identification module is claiming it to be, and so on. You can just measure stuff with the old models, and that's a fun use case using PyTorch and BART base model, and having fun with that.
Interesting. So you're using like an old. This is not the topic, right? But you're using the only purpose of that is to kind of have continuous eval of kind of the conversation you're trying to generate or you're trying to enable someone to have with an AI, right? And
Yeah,
then you want to like have an eval for like, is this good conversation
it's
from the
actually not for the conversation, but even more basic, like where should, like, these two utterances coming from Whisper, are they one sentence, or is it better to divide them
right?
into two, like
All
what
right,
like
interesting.
very super basic level.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Right, but about today then.
Yes, so we're going to talk about the update to ChatGPT. We have news about the GPT Store coming out this week, and also GPT Team. And what are your initial thoughts about those?
I mean, I think like the most interesting one is the store. I think the team feature was kind of expected, right? It's just basically that you can have a bunch of people still interacting with ChatGPT in the same way, but now having like a shared workspace. So you can say, for example, build your custom GPTs for your company, and only you can use them. And so it's like just yeah, I mean, setting that up, and then you can obviously use these together. So it's kind of very basic collaboration layer, still the same kind of UI, still the same like interaction, just voice and text with
Mhm.
ChatGPT and the same functionality. Um, what's more interesting is like what I want to sort of double click on, and where I'm like, I don't have my mind straight yet, is kind of continuing on the conversation we had with the other Rasmus Fallander about kind of, are GPTs really fundamentally like a new way to build software?
Yeah.
Like, is this the new app store? What does that mean?
Mhm.
And like like where is this now? I tried out a bit, like a few like GPTs since the store went live. Um, so yeah, I mean, something there, like around there. I'm just like literally just want to have a discussion, because I'm not sure what I think yet, if it's like, yeah, if this is an app store moment, or uh, if it's, much more limited.
Mm.
Do you have any initial thoughts? Like, have you tried anything out?
Yeah, I've been exploring a bit, and I actually think that that combination is super powerful. And because what you do with GPTs is that you plug in your custom tools. Okay, that's one way to make them more powerful. That they can interface APIs on the open web, and what that means is that if you have any enterprise APIs that interface to your organization's data, then you can put inside GPT team, you can create custom GPTs for your organization. So, for example, you could easily have just like um, res- um, a receipt reporting assistant for that sends the receipts of your of expenses to HR, or um, anything like that. Like it could be, it actually could be that ChatGPT becomes sort of an operating system for your organization if that is built out with a lot of tools that is safe to expose to ChatGPT, and perhaps safety is the keyword there. But if that would become the norm, people are working with ChatGPT windows open. Why not put tools there that allow AI to access data in organization and make sense of it together with your employees?
Yeah, interesting. Um, yeah, my initial thoughts are like a little bit related, um, but not maybe fully aligned. It's like the so we already have all this software out there, right? I
Hmm.
mean, for example, I'm just going to take one example, GPT. Um, we have Canva, which is like a very easy way to create kind of, I mean, primarily marketing designs with text and images.
Mm.
And Canva has been integrating a bunch of like AI features directly in Canva, so you can generate copy and generate the images, etc., directly there.
Yeah.
um, so this Canva plugin that I just, or sorry, the Canva GPT that I just tried, uh, I can basically ask it to generate some graphics for me in natural language, and then it will call the Canva API, and then it gave me a couple of images. Like, here are two alternatives, and then I didn't take it much further. But then I can probably keep chatting about it to change it, to update it, and then work that way. But I
Mm.
could do that in Canva as well. So what is that GPT really? It's kind of like just another UI on top of Canva. It's like the natural language UI on top of Canva.
Yeah.
Um, so that doesn't seem like it would, disrupt Canva, right? Canva still has a purpose there, both because how they what their capabilities are valuable even through a natural language interface, but also because not ever like it doesn't make sense that everyone will want a natural language interface for that, especially if they
Mm.
want to be like designing and co-creating with AI, right? Then that's going to be much. I mean, I doubt that ChatGPT will kind of build out that capability.
Mm.
Um, so where you want the human involved, the individual app in that use case will still kind of make sense. Um, and same thing, another one I tried was like Consensus, I think was called. It's like I think it's a research database,
Ah.
and there could then ask yeah, I mean just access that data through an like the AI interface of ChatGPT. So it
Hmm.
could write me an introduction to an article within a specific subject, or list me the articles and summarize them from within a topic and time period, etc. I asked it for like the top peer reviewed kind of most cited papers. I don't know if it actually successfully filtered those out, but
Mm.
it looked confident. So let's see.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so there it's like in that kind of, if I just take that lens of those two examples and let's move
Mm.
on from there, then I would
Mm.
just say it's a very easy way to have another interface on top of these products and provided directly in ChatGPT
Yeah.
in terms of just as the app, right?
Mm.
But you could as well have that, and maybe they do have that directly in Canva or directly in Consensus.
Mm.
Um,
but
So in
it's
that level, it doesn't feel revolutionary when I look at it there. Then the revolutionary thing is like the AI interface, not the like the AI capability.
mm,
It's not like the GPT store. But like we could take other. What are your thoughts? Like
well,
that's my initial like
no,
examples.
just to add on to that, what they achieve is that they instead of like what you achieve with an app in the App Store or Google Play is that you get your brand or your service into like potentially into the pockets of people when they install your app on the mobile phone. You're in their pocket, more present in their daily lives. And if people already have ChatGPT open in their browser, having an app there or a custom GPT, maybe that just provides more exposure, like shorter distance between you and new potential customers.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting. Sorry, just to jump
yeah,
in there, like because I
yeah,
don't have a Canva account,
no,
and it didn't ask me to register,
no,
but
but
the links, if I wanted to click and edit the
exactly,
designs, then I would have to go there.
yeah.
So
When
it's like a
you
marketing channel almost for them, like right?
It is definitely when you get frustrated with it, like when your natural language interface becomes too cumbersome for exactly what you want to do, like just move it 2 pixels up, stupid AI. Then maybe it's easier to click in and just move it yourself, and then you Canva have the potential of capturing you as
Mm.
a lead for their service. And I think that's pretty much the same with mobile apps. Like when it's both convenience, a better service. Like when Hertz have their car rental app in your mobile phone, it means that I trust them a bit more, and I feel like I can interface them. They haven't like I'm not left out to their super cumbersome web page. And maybe it will be the same with custom GPTs and the GPT store.
Yeah, yeah, and of course, like this is the step now, and I haven't really tried any examples, but I know it's possible. And if I take one more step, because these were both examples, the ones I took at least, of, you know, one app has a plugin that basically allows you to use that app. You know, it
Hmm.
has a GPT, like it's the
Yeah.
most simple way you can think of implementing a GPT almost.
Mm.
But of course, there are also the alternatives where you have a GPT that has access to many different services or
Mm.
data sources, right? Um, and there, it's interesting because then in that case, it becomes like one, the natural language interface, but also an integration platform,
Mm.
I would say. So, you know, the example would be, hey, I haven't checked, probably something like that, but connect my HubSpot, which is a sales kind of pipeline tool, and my inbox.
Mm.
And then I ask it to give me the last, you know, the five people I'm supposed to follow up with today. Um, and based on the previous discussion, write the draft of an email for each of them,
Mm. Mm.
and then okay, edit them a little bit, and then like okay, send these
Mm.
via my email. I don't know if that's like a really good way to use it, but that's another product. That's another
Mm.
type of product because that product wasn't really. I mean, I guess you can probably send emails via HubSpot, right? And you can probably generate response in there now as well. Um, but it's definitely like one level up from just using one single tool in my mind, at least. What do you
Mm.
think?
Yeah, it is, and also it speaks to like 1 year ago we said that um, the plugin store was the new app store,
Yeah,
but that actually didn't happen. Like plugins for ChatGPT have not been a huge channel of customer acquisition or engagement for the companies that build plugins. Not as far as I know, and it hasn't been the headlines around
mm.
ChatGPT hasn't been about the tools. And maybe one shortcoming that custom GPTs address is that you actually have to also adapt the prompts that you use together with the tools and so on. Now, when you can build an assistant together with the tool, you can
Yeah,
instruct and you can train and adapt the prompts so that the assistant also, like on the ChatGPT end, knows how to call the tool and what kind of input it expects, and you can iterate on that, and it's not up to the end user to figure out how ChatGPT is best prompted to produce value from a tool.
Yeah, that's a really good point in that. I mean, in that way, they really are kind of like apps, right? Because you're packaging now these like different custom actions that used to be plugins, but you're wrapping them in like how they should function in terms of like having the custom prompts for the GPTs, how to use those tools.
Mm,
Um, and then you can have this thing like a personal travel assistant that actually goes and finds flights, suggest them to you, and then purchase them for you. I need to check if that's actually live, but I can
mm,
really see that being possible within a GPT in kind of a reliable way. Whereas probably like when you have the plugin directly to just general OpenAI, like you said,
mm,
then it wouldn't be a very good travel assistant,
yeah.
like yet, right? So it's
Mm,
like taking and creating a specialized kind of functional intelligence or functional framework and process
yeah.
and tools for very specific things. Um,
In parallel to providing tools, you can also upload PDFs that it's chunking and putting in a vector search. So you actually get a RAG architecture combined with the tools. So it's pretty powerful yet simple interface, both for creators and for users.
yeah. I mean, maybe it's like it is an AI app store, right? So it's not like necessarily that it's the new app store. Every app will be obsolete, right? But within this new, if we let's say that AI is primarily new. I mean, interface. Let's take
Mm,
that perspective. It's
yeah,
probably not. It's probably not only right, but if you take that perspective, AI as a new interface, then this is definitely like a well thought model for what an app is,
yeah.
right?
And within some confines, also, if you build an AI powered backend of something, maybe you can for the first year of your business only have backend engineers, and just not care about the front end development and UI design and so on.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah. I mean, that's. I think that was a little bit of what Rasmus Fallander was into as well. Like when we chatted with him, is
Mm,
like, and what we discussed there. I don't want to put words in his mouth.
mm,
It's kind of like if the AI interface, if the Chat GPT kind of interface is good enough for
mm,
what you want to offer, if it's a good way to offer that,
yeah.
then yeah, maybe you just need to build some stuff on the back end.
Mm,
Even if building just a GPT isn't sufficient for what you have in mind, in the sense that uh, just taking not writing any code basically, or just
mm,
writing like very little code in the custom actions. You actually have to build something. Then even so, you can just build that thing and then package it through like the whole UX through GPT.
mm,
So it's
yes.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, probably the first. Yeah, I mean, I want to look through this more because you could really imagine that it really changes software
Mm,
development, like it says,
yeah.
in that sense.
Another interesting thing is that they are not releasing it with revenue share right now. It's coming Q1 and only for the US, presumably because paying money to the entire world could be problematic. They just want to pay out money to US creators, so like right now.
Yeah.
But they are releasing this not as a perfect product, but they're releasing it in steps, and so which means that they are also feeling some pressure from the rest of the industry to innovate, to not just sit on innovations until they are perfect, but actually get them to market.
Yeah, that's my sense in the whole AI space. Like, Google rushing to catch up, and I
Yes.
think we're going to see like what I'm hearing from people using Gemini, like, is good,
Hmm.
and like the way they're going to be able to integrate it in their productivity suite. You know,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, we'll see. Maybe Microsoft will be as quick and as good at it, but I can really imagine Google taking it to like a billion, like AI to a billion people faster than anyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Because they're probably just going to deploy it for free across
Mm.
their whole suite. Some at least some version of it, which is not what I think. It doesn't seem what that's what Microsoft is doing, right?
Mm.
Uh, So yeah, I mean, yeah. Hmm.
There's also one super random thing that happened this week, that some users posted on Reddit that they saw a screen popping up on ChatGPT announcing that from now on it's possible to have a continuous memory for ChatGPT.
Yeah, I saw that one as well.
And then when they tried it, it wasn't there. It was just like the it's like the either they were A/B testing something, or the just the UI or the announcement like was published by mistake. But maybe that's an upcoming feature. They could be just testing it to the market, or they are actually
Mm.
developing it and releasing it soon.
Yeah, that's also going to be like pretty interesting. Like, depends on how they implement it. Like, as I saw that
Hmm.
one, I didn't really understand like exactly how it was
Yeah.
implemented. But I actually, it was one of the, like, on Twitter, I think it was like the one of the OpenAI people who actually reposted it as well.
Okay.
I think so, but
Mm.
like I'll have to look into it. Like,
Yeah.
don't take my word for it, but I think so. So it's probably serious, but like it's
Mm.
obviously a big question how that would work. Would it work, across your chats so that you have ChatGPT getting to know you over time? Would it work with the in GPTs so they actually have memory when you come back to it, apart from just the chat history? I don't know.
Mm. From what I understood from the leaked screenshots, the it was normal ChatGPT having continuous chat, so it remembers everything you talked about, but also the possibility of temporary chats. If you're speculating about something that is not within your normal life, or looking something up for a friend or something, then it's like they have something which is akin to the incognito mode in your browser.
Okay, let's speculate. Like, where do you
Mhm.
think if we look at both, like, you know, where are we like 6, 12 months from now, given the GPT store and just like these, I guess, what that means for, this generation of AI
Mm.
in general.
So rate of adoption is always hard to speculate, but let's just assume that all of this becomes a big hit, a much bigger hit than the tools for GPT for ChatGPT was a year ago. Then I would say that ChatGPT becomes more of an operating system for the world, where you can book flights, you can manage your email like you proposed, you can access your inbox, um, your company's documents, perhaps, like or and so on. And ChatGPT is just more integrated and more knowledge about your life. It also knows you better. It knows if it remembers what you've talked about before. It can follow up when you talk about your sister's bad temperament again for the 10th time. It can it can follow up on earlier conversations and just be more cued in.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. On the operating system side, like, I think the concrete version of that is that it's not only kind of chat GPT plus subscribers who use custom GPTs. It's
Mm.
actually, I have some GPTs that are like basically, they just, it's a website that's basically GPT, right? Or like an
Yeah.
app that's just GPT. Like, it's something I use directly and that is marketed separately and that gets a lot of users because it's valuable. It's like the new travel assistant maybe doesn't want to be just a GPT within the store of ChatGPT, right?
Mm.
And maybe they're going to lock it. Like, I don't know how that would function, but like I would imagine they're going to open that up as well,
Yeah.
like, because you can already have like shareable links for your GPTs, etc. So it's going to be interesting to see that one evolve, because then it really is like a platform, right?
Mm.
That you're not like only able to or an like, you don't not only able to market your GPT within the current subscriber base
Mm.
of ChatGPT, but like to the whole world. Like,
Yeah. I,
hmm,
I remember 15 years ago, during the Web 2.0, we had this concept of mashups. Some there were startups that were just mashups of existing services, and perhaps that's also a way to build a chat GPT or a custom GPT, that you build a mashup of existing services and tools, and uh, you can have some limited success with that. that's like horizontally integrating tools. Like if you have a travel assistant, it can both book hotels and flights for you using different sets of tools that normally don't operate together.
Yeah, and if I yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. It's a good frame actually as well. It's like, anytime you've thought, oh, I wish I could just do this and this,
Hmm.
kind of like, I
Yeah,
wish I could just, and then all of a sudden that's just, given to you in like a very neat kind of format.
yeah.
Um, like one guess that's still on me, like same like prediction I had when plugins came, and I think I'm even more kind of confident about it now, or like I would believe in it more at least. Is kind of that these are the specialist intelligences of, the kind of future AGI, so to say. So I
Mm,
really think that that's their bet, that like involving the whole world in giving ChatGPT tools
mm,
and being able to use those tools and being able to accomplish different things. Being a travel agent is actually a skill. Like I would probably not be a very good travel agent compared to a real travel agent. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's actually a skill. I would have to learn it. I would have to work
yeah.
with it for a while. Um, but all of a sudden, like ChatGPT will be able to, you can just go into ChatGPT or just ask it like voice, can you book me a ticket? And it will utilize the best travel assistant
Mm,
GPT kind of. And if I ask it something else, we'll use another GPT. So I think like all of this will just like, I would guess that's their strategy at least, because it makes a lot of sense for how to build out a general artificial intelligence is like just having a lot of specialist
yeah.
intelligences that
Yeah.
can be accessed through one point, so to say.
Mm. And maybe that's something we will see during like model just within ChatGPT
Yeah.
within a year, that ChatGPT can access assistants as agents or as subordinates, asking them to go and do a specific thing for the user.
Yeah, that would be my guess, because the interesting thing is these GPTs are actually just chat GPT with a little custom prompt. It's
Hmm.
just it prompting itself and
Yeah,
using some of the tools available.
yeah.
So it's, yeah, I
With
mean,
with
it's,
the with the RAG and then the
yeah,
data analytics built in.
but it's the same like basic like architecture and basic
Yeah,
kind of functionality. Everything is like it's the same product
yeah.
with like, and then you use this PDF, and then you have these checkboxes to use code interpreter, and you have these little API keys
Mm,
configured, and you have a little prompt. So
yeah.
it's like it's quite a thin layer on top of like Chat GPT,
Mm.
which is the GPTs. So yeah, it's not doesn't seem far away.
And it's a really good challenge to to the industry as well, to all of the entrepreneurs and startups that want to build AI apps, that uh, OpenAI is telling them, don't be lazy, don't just
Yeah.
build a thin layer on top of our APIs. You have to really innovate if you want to do something, because if it could just as well be a custom GPT, then it's gonna be.
Yeah, and I think like just from my frame now, and I honestly I don't know how much confidence I have in this. It's just like a thought now, but it feels like if we take that prediction, then everything that AI can do for you could converge on like a few access points. ChatGPT, Microsoft, Bard slash Gemini,
Mm,
Google, Siri, through Apple, of course, like a few of those, and then of course to serve that, people will build things like GPTs, etc. But the core value for other apps will be either supplementing the capabilities of these AI interfaces, or providing interfaces for humans
mm,
to interact in other ways
mm,
with the base functionality, because the base functionality will be available for the AI through these main interfaces, through the GPTs and the custom actions.
mm.
So maybe that's at least a yeah. I mean, I coming back to the UI for AI again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just having confirmation bias here, and like taking all information and framing it to what I'm excited about. But yeah, those were my parting thoughts at
Yeah.
least.
So to round off, another reflection that I can contribute to this context is that um, at the beginning of the launch of GPT-4 and GPT-3, even we speculated that the big land rush was for all tool makers to build AI into their tools, and it's almost as if OpenAI is also calling that and saying that you're too slow. Let's build all the tools into OpenAI instead of vice versa.
Yeah.
And I sort of can feel a bit of disappointment in that tool makers are not innovating a lot in building AI into tools, but maybe that's to come as well.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. It's going to be exciting,
Yeah,
fast paced as always.
yeah.
But yeah, thanks a lot, Martin. This was great.
Thanks, Rasmus,
Good thoughts.
and thanks to the listener for being with us all the way. This has been an episode of Co-Creating with AI, and next week we will take a break, and we will produce even a doubly valuable episode for the week after instead.